Hello students, welcome once again. So today I'm going to discuss on a very new topic on unit 1, and the topic name is human resource management functions. So what are the functions of human resource management? So earlier we have covered the definition, the evolution, and also I have talked about the uh, objectives. I have also talked about the scope. Okay. So today let us carry forward with the topic that is functions of human resource management. Now when we talk about the functions, like what does function means? With the help of human resource management, what are the things that you can do or what human resource management can do while placing it in an organization? Okay? That is what we are going to learn today in this topic. So broadly, if we have to classify the functions of human resource management, there are two functions. One, operational functions, and two, it is managerial functions. As you can see in the screen, the operational functions. What are the operational functions? Number one, employment. And number two, human resource development or HRD, which we commonly refer to as. Number three, it's compensation. Next, human relations. And third and fifth one is industrial relations. So let's try to understand it one by one. Now, see, functions when we are classifying in two terms, one is talking about the operational function and the other is talking about the managerial function. Now, under operational functions, what we are going to learn. So, under managerial functions, what you are going to learn. Under operational functions, we are going to learn that how human resource management operates. How or where are the positions or where are the parts that HRM can be operated. Okay. कहाँ पे तुम उसको यूज करोगे ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट सो उसी के बारे में हम अभी ऑपरेशनल फंक्शंस में हम जानेंगे नंबर वन इट टॉक्स अबाउट एम्प्लॉयमेंट दिस इज वेरी सिंपल फंक्शन if you have to provide employment or if you have to uh, provide a new job to a person or to a person who is seeking for a new job, then it is the duty of the human resource department or it is the duty of the human resource management team, because it is only the human resource management team that does the human resource planning. Now what is human resource planning? That we have to identify, like planning में हम क्या करते हैं? We plan in advance that what is our goal. Okay, or where do we want to see ourselves, say 5 years down the line, where do we want to see ourselves? ग्रेजुएशन करके तुम अपने आप को कहाँ पे देखना चाहते हो? That for that you need to have a proper plan. Similarly, when we talk from organizational human resource point of view, an organization plans कि if the organization wants to achieve greater goals or greater heights, then what is the number of employees or additional number of employees or workforce that they would require? Then that process of identifying or estimating the number of additional employees or workforce that will be required in an organization to achieve those goals or objectives is known as human resource planning. Now this human, with the help of human resource planning, you are going to know the number कि मुझे कितना job और create करवाना है organization में. Now when you know the number of vacancies that is going to arise in your organization, then the next thing that you are going to do is you are going to advertise. Then you are going to start the recruitment process. And after recruitment, you are going to select, you are going to conduct tests, you are going to select the proper person who is fit enough for that particular position. Okay, so these all comes under the employment function, which is a part of operational function. Now, under operational function, with the aid of human resource management, you can provide employment. So this is the first part. Second, human resource development. Now, once you have recruited or once you have posted a new employee to the organization or in the organization, then you have to identify whether that person is filling the required demands of that organization or not, or he is meeting the demands or requisites of that organization or not. If he is not meeting, so then you have to provide him certain types of training and developmental programs. Okay. So first thing is you have to identify what is the vacuum that is there in that person, और क्या क्या उसको सिखाना होगा. You have to identify that. So who identifies that? It is through this human resource development team. Now what this human resource development team does, it not only limits the employees, uh, सिर्फ उन लोगों को काम में लगाना ही मोटिव नहीं होता. When you are employing a person in your organization, you also have to think about his future growth development. Because when I get into an organization, or when I enroll myself into an organization, तो मैं वहाँ पे इस यही सोच के जाता हूँ कि हमेशा एक ही जगह में मुझे काम नहीं करना है. I want to see growth in that organization. So how am I going to get growth if there is no human resource development then? So human resource development team is very important, which is provided under the operational function of human resource management. Okay. Next is compensation. Now you have recruited the new employee. You are providing him scope for further growth in the organization as well. But what is the basic thing that will keep him or her motivated to give more production or be more productive towards the organization? It's the benefit, or it's the compensation, it's the reward. For whatever he has done in the organization, you have to compensate that person. So that is the compensation part. Okay. So compensation part will cover, basically it will cover the salaries. In addition to that, it would also cover incentives, bonus. So these all things will be covered under compensation. And a compensation plan has to be made properly, so that it keeps into consideration the demands and needs of that particular employee. If your compensation plan is not meeting the requirements and demands of that particular employee, then in that case the employee will get dissatisfied, and that dissatisfaction might lead to reduced productivity of that employee. So this compensation part needs to be taken great care of. Next is human relations. Now, see, one of the basic objective behind human resource management is to maintain cordial relation between the employer and employees, or between the employer, employee, and the outsiders. So, since the organization is made up of human beings, since the organization is made up of men or individuals, so it is utmost necessary, it becomes utmost important to maintain a cordial relation, so that a better working condition prevails within the organization. So it is the duty of the human resource management to maintain a proper relation, proper working relation. And how can you maintain a proper working relation? If there exists proper relation or interpersonal relation. You know what interpersonal relation is? Interpersonal relation, how you are communicating with others. Okay, how you are expressing your thoughts to your employers or to your peers. So that needs to be taken care of. This communication part will come into this function. Like, human relation can be maintained properly if there is proper communication present in the organization. Next is industrial relation. As I have already told in the scope, while I was discussing the scope, the third scope talks about human resource management and industrial relation. So industrial relation, once again, let me brief you. Industrial relation tries to maintain a cordial relation, or it tries to maintain a better working condition between the employer and employees, or the manager and the laborers. And also it tries to maintain good relation with the stakeholders as well. So there are three parties or four parties will be involved there: employer, employee, stakeholders, and government. So these four parties needs to be maintained properly, have to be their relation have to be maintained properly. Now this human resource management team is going to do that by creating a separate uh, separate study, which we can call it, which we refer to as industrial relation. Okay, so these are the operational functions. Now, these operational functions will help an organization to maintain efficiency at workplace. Okay, next, let's talk about the second function, second part or second section of the broad classification which we are seeing in. We have already discussed about the operational function. Next is managerial function. Now, under managerial function, you have already been introduced to what managerial functions is. Even I have talked in my earlier session about managerial function. It was Henry Fayol in his administrative theory. Okay, in his administrative theory, he laid down that this five managerial function has to be there in order to make a manager effective, or in order to manage effectively and efficiently. So what are the five functions, managerial functions of human resource management? It's planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and control. So regarding this five managerial function, I'm not going to discuss now, but I'll be doing it in my coming session, maybe in my live classes. But prior to that, this will be my next assignment to you all. I want to hear from you all what you have to say regarding the managerial functions. I have already laid down the operational functions. I will also be providing the notes to refer along with my video. And now it is your duty, since it is an assignment to you all. So prepare yourself and come up with some new thoughts regarding how you are going to express the managerial functions. I want your assignment to be submitted by Monday. Sorry, not by Monday. Monday we don't have class, but on Wednesday I want your assignments to be submitted. Okay, thank you so much. That is all for